Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at a fairly unusual door sweep from Zero. Unusual in its dimensional properties, as you can see. A very large door sweep in terms of the length of neoprene that's exposed. This is the Zero 639WA. Part number refers to, the 639W refers to the profile that you see. You've got an aluminum holder up at the top, long piece of neoprene. It's held on with adhesive in the back, and then of course the permanent installation comes when you screw it to the door. Also available in the 639WD. Mill aluminum, when it's A, becomes a dark bronze anodized when you use the D in the part number. This happens to be a 4-foot piece, but we'll get to that in a moment. Where would you use this? Well, the application, or an application by which you have some sort of very odd condition. I have seen this used in instances where you have a back door, literal back door of the nightclub goes out to an alley, immediately onto an alley. There's a stoop and a drop. There's nowhere, because the frame is literally flush with the stoop, which then meets the alley surface. No good way to get a threshold installed out there. So what a lot of people will do is they'll take some sort of a threshold, rip it so that you've got some sort of closure below the door, or closing up the gap, and then running this long sort of sweep so that it comes down literally and folds against the face of the sill, the concrete sill that's there. That's a pretty common installation. Well, can't say that it's common, but I've sold this in that sort of application. I've also sold this in applications where there was a freezer cooler door, and there was some sort of track system that was in the floor, and they literally had to account for a large undercut in certain instances when the door was open or closed. So the track system was inside the room, and the door needed to swing clear over it, but at the same time it still needed to be able to seal marginally well when the door was in the closed position. So they use a very long sweep like this to account for the fact that they have a large undercut to account for the condition on the inside. So, you know, typical. The fact of the matter is, I don't know where you're going to see an installation like this designed from the get-go. A sweep like this is generally a patch or a remedy or a way to best, you know, work with the circumstances that you've been given. Now, there's an image below this video that shows the important dimensional properties, and let's go over that now. Okay, so you can see that the height of the aluminum extrusion is 1.25 inches. The length of the neoprene is 3 1/8 inches. The drawing calls it out as 3 inch. Okay, now the thickness, well, the drawing calls it out at 3/16, but that's typical and common. Okay, 3/16. You can see from the profile that the back side of the aluminum extrusion down here has a tiny little point. It looks like a hook. And that's nice because it literally bites into the face of the neoprene, such that when you attach it to the face of the door, it kind of bites into the seal material and helps keep it exactly where you want it to be placed. Now, this item is available, as we said earlier, in the 2 different finishes: your mill aluminum finish, and then of course the dark bronze. We've talked about where you're going to use it. Now, the different lengths. This is in the website in lengths from probably 2 foot to 8 foot. Lots of lengths in between. That may not be exactly what you need, so if you have need for a custom length, by all means let us know by ordering the next longest piece or pieces, and simply indicate in the comment field what length you'd like for us to cut the material back to. Now, the reasoning is this. If you had to take this 48-inch piece and cut it down to, say, 42-inch, you'd eliminate that first slotted hole that's there. The next one's all the way over here. Now, if you ordered a custom length, you're going to save yourself the trouble of having to cut this. You're going to save yourself the trouble of having to drill a new hole, and of course drilling a slotted hole is difficult. And it's nice to have that slotted hole there from the factory, because it allows you to help tailor this to a sill that's not level, or perhaps, you know, a frame that's no longer plumb, or maybe you've got some sort of unusual condition that you really need to put it not level or intentionally along a door. So if the door is like this, if the door is not plumb, you might need to take that and kick it so that it's level, whatever the case might be. What I like about a lot of what Zero does is even the backside of the neoprene has a punch in it that is slotted as well, because you can see that right there. Because the idea of the slotted hole is to be able to, again, tailor that, and that's slotted on the backside as well. Saves you the trouble of getting in there and trying to make that hole a little bit larger. And speaking of the holes, there is screws included in a complementary finish. These screws have self-drilling points. That is not the standard for Zero, so I can't say why this one specifically has it, except that it may have been requested on the order. And feel free to request self-drilling screws. I personally don't care for them at all, because I don't believe that you get good control with a self-drilling screw with something as critical as placing a door sweep, or especially perimeter gasketing or astragals. But to each his own, of course, naturally. So if you ordered a custom length, we're not only going to give you that first slotted hole at the proper distance from the edge, but the proper center to center as well. So that's easy. Now the name Zero is synonymous with weather stripping naturally, but what they bring to the market, different than what other people bring, is a very unique set of solutions for weather stripping problems that other people frankly don't offer. It's as if when you look at their weather stripping offering, you can see the multiple levels of review and engineering that the items have gone through to really think about what is the best way to provide a piece of hardware to solve a specific problem. That is a hallmark of the Zero line. And if you have more than an occasional need for weather stripping, even garden variety sorts of applications, review the Zero product line, because you're going to eventually, and when it comes to weather stripping, you always do, you're going to find a real tough solution that you need an answer to. And Zero would be a good go-to for those, especially those tough solutions. If you have any questions on the Zero 639WA, 3-inch neoprene with an aluminum holder, or any other Zero product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.